motherfuckers. Oh yeah, I'm back. This is your main man, Mr. Can You Dig It? Baton Rouge Mayor. And I'm back with a couple hot ticks of these motherfucking politics. Hit that motherfucking subscribe button, nigga. Oh, look at Miracle. Pam Bundy's on her last motherfucking leg. Donald Trump about to fire. And the reason why he about to fire, because she cannot stop the Epstein files from coming out. Put the handcuffs on her too. Lock her motherfucker.
Is that the potential termination of Donald Trump's Attorney General Pam Bondi is imminent? The New York Times report that Donald Trump is now talking with lots of his staff about getting rid of Pam Bondi because of the way she botched the cover-up of the Epstein files and botched the cover-up of Donald Trump's dark past. And Donald Trump has not made his final decision, but he is now leaning to replace Pam Bondi with Lee Zeldin, the EPA administrator. Now, this comes as we've now learned about hard drives that have been hidden by Epstein's private investigators. We've learned about DEA investigative files of not just a sex trafficking ring, but a money laundering drug trafficking ring running adjacent to Epstein's sex trafficking ring, and that's being potentially covered up by Donald Trump's Deputy Attorney General, Todd Blanche. And now even James Comer, the MAGA Republican sycophant who heads the House Oversight Committee, who chairs it right now, even he says, well, we all admit that the DOJ has done a really bad job. Like, we all know that Pam Bondi and the DOJ has screwed up. So Pam Bondi's deposition is supposed to take place. She's been subpoenaed for April 14th. Remember that stunt she pulled 2 weeks ago where in 24 hours she's like, I'm going to go visit the House Oversight Committee and I'm going to voluntarily give information, and Democrat ranking member Garcia's like, get me the hell out of here. We're leaving. The Democrats are leaving. This is a setup as a way that Pam Bondi's going to try to avoid testifying under oath where she's been subpoenaed, because she's going to say, well, I just showed up already and I volunteered to testify. And so I think that was her and Donald Trump trying to come up with the plan for her to get out of her subpoena deposition. And I think the plan is that if she can't wiggle out of that deposition, if she can't try to escape it, which she's ordered to appear at, I think she's gone by April 14th, although we will see.
Oh, look at Miracle. The Botox face skank from Florida, Pam Bondi, the head of the Department of Justice, been covering up the Epstein files from the motherfucking beginning. They should have been put the handcuffs on her motherfucking ass. Lock her motherfucking ass up.
Also, Pablo Manriquez from the Midas Touch Network, well, he caught up with the Democratic ranking member of the House Oversight Committee, Robert Garcia. Here's what Congressmember Garcia had to say. Let's play this clip.
Congressman, what do you make of, or what's your message to Americans who say that the reason we're in the war with Iran right now is to distract from the Epstein files?
Well, first, everything that Donald Trump does is to distract from the Epstein files, but also he's given no mission. We have no idea why we're there. He won't admit it's a war. American troops have died. Civilians are dying. The amount of money we're spending, we could fund healthcare and public schools and infrastructure in this country. And so it's time for Donald Trump to actually release the files and end this war right now.
And do you think it's time does Congress have the power to compel a special prosecutor perhaps to?
Absolutely. We should do everything that we can to get release the files. Half of them have been hidden. Donald Trump's been trying to cover up the Epstein files from day one. Pam Bondi should be held in contempt. She needs to come in front of our committee and testify. And most importantly, he's going to continue with these distractions. They've got to end.
Oh, look at Miracle. Donald Trump been trying to cover up the motherfucking Epstein files since day one. Pam Bondi ass need to be held in contempt. They need to kick her ass, put the handcuffs on her, bring her back to Florida, and lock her motherfucking ass.
Now, let me just update you on Judge Gardefee. Good judge. Has always been one of the slower judges in making his decisions on the Southern District of New York, but I think he's going to have to appoint a special master here. Let me do a quick tutorial of what's going to happen in the aftermath of the Epstein affair now that Pam Bondi's been fired. She was going to appear on April 14th, before an oversight committee hearing. James Comer has been trying to pull back that subpoena under pressure from the White House. We know that the White House did not want Pam Bondi to go under oath about the Epstein files and her handling of them. And so before they could get to that point, she's been fired. Another version of an Epstein cover-up. Similarly, Alina Habba, like Donald Trump's personal lawyer, she was ordered to appear before a New Jersey federal judge to answer for whether she was continuing to run the New Jersey U.S. Attorney's Office after being fired. And rather than appear for her testimony, they gave in and appointed a new U.S. attorney in New Jersey. See, Donald Trump doesn't want the lawyers in his life to get onto stands and give sworn testimony, especially Pam Bondi. But this doesn't end the story. The subpoena, in my view, is still valid and not extinguished because Pam Bondi has been removed from office.
Oh, breaking news. Shout out to my sister, Nora. Pam Bondi is now fired. Now put the handcuffs on her. Kick her in the ass. We supposed to been put her ass in jail. Lock her motherfucking ass up. A whole motherfucking minute.
In fact, former U.S. attorneys and former attorney generals like Bill Barr for Donald Trump have recently testified before the committee. And just because they're no longer in the office doesn't stop it. Jack Smith, special counsel, testified. Former presidents have testified, like Bill Clinton. Former attorneys general, like Bill Barr, have testified. Why not Pam Bondi? I'm going to have Representative Summer Lee from Pennsylvania with me for an interview. She's on that committee. I'm going to ask her exactly that. We need to keep up the pressure that Pam Bondi still come before that committee and give sworn testimony.
Breaking news. Second alert. The skank from Florida, Pam Bondi, head of the Department of Justice, has been fired. Now it's time to put the handcuffs on her. Kick on her ass. Lock her motherfucking ass.